On a cold morning in Atlanta, Georgia, when most people stayed inside, these people got up. They did not come for attention. They didn't come for likes, views, or clout. They came because love wouldn't let them stay home. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, wives, husbands, children, and friends of people who are currently incarcerated in the state of Georgia. People who are locked behind concrete and still often invisible to the public, but never invisible to the people who love them. Today is about Inmates Lives Matter. Not as a slogan, but as truth. This is not a protest rooted in hate. This is not about denying accountability. This is about human dignity. Because no matter what someone has done, no matter their sentence, no matter their past, inhumane conditions should never be a part of the punishment. These families are here because phone calls go unanswered, because letters come late or don't come at all, because they hear fear in the voice of their loved ones, because they bury people who were supposed to come home, and still they stand. That takes courage.
Correction, not corruption. 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 When do we want it? Now. When do we want justice? When do we want it? Now. Inmate lives matter. Inmate lives matter. Inmate lives matter. Inmate lives matter. When do we want justice? When do we want it? Now. When do we want justice? When do we want it? Now. Correction, not corruption. Correction, not corruption. Correction, not corruption.
How you doing today, brother?
Correction, not corruption. Can we get jobs without destruction? Your lawmakers are in here making deals off of this. How are they getting away? Every sheriff that is in here feminist jail and these inhumane things going on should be held accountable. Y'all don't give a damn. Y'all too busy seats. Be coming for them. What happens when you're no longer elected? Don't be inhumane to do it. Don't be inhumane to do it. Don't be inhumane to do it. Hey, I just wanted to say, I'm Senator Jim Jackson. I'm one of the co-sponsors for SB 25. I serve on the Public Safety Committee here on the Senate side. Want to thank you all for being here. Deeply grateful for the love and compassion.
Thank you. We have signs. We're trying to find the racetrack.
I have been to a number of Georgia's prisons over the course of my time, and so I'm very aware of the inhumane conditions that people are living in. Ways that people that we love and care about are not being well cared for. So I'm grateful to be an advocate in this group. Really proud to be a sponsor in this bill, particularly for parole reform. And thank you all for showing up and being a place for your loved ones when they can't do that themselves. Except I will say parenthetically, your loved ones write incredible letters, and they are reaching out even from the inside. And I'm grateful for each and every letter that they've done. I think my colleagues appreciate those as well. And hopefully we can bring about some real change in our country. Again, thank you all so much for standing up and fighting for your loved ones and fighting for those who are incarcerated. You're doing what you're doing right now. You know, you've got to just keep on real change. We've got to see change at the top. And so we need a governor who cares about this issue. Amen. Yes. Who's here. So come October, November, go cast the ballot for a governor who cares about this. And I can tell you, he's going to have a hard side of it.
We also need y'all guys' help to advocate. As you said, it starts at the top. We have a commissioner of the Department of Corrections who has completed all the way through. There was 4 deaths at Washington State Prison 2 weeks ago, and
there was another death at Johnson yesterday morning. There was a death at Dooley last night. 2 days before that, another death at Johnson.
Overcrowded conditions.
We need hospitals, not prisons. That's right.
We need a mass release. There's so many people that are anxious to be released. They need to be released.
correction, not corruption. And that's what we need.
Healing. We need healing. All right. I appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Let's be clear about who's protesting here today. These are not criminals. These are relatives of the incarcerated. These are working people who pay taxes. These are grandparents raising kids. These are mothers sending money they don't have. These are fathers answering questions they don't know how to answer. They are living a sentence they were never convicted of. Every lockdown affects a household. Every delayed medical visit echoes through a family. Every unexplained death creates a lifetime of unanswered questions. When the system fails inmates, it also fails the families, and ultimately it fails society. These people didn't come here angry. They came here informed. They came here organized. They came here peaceful, but not silent.
Last time I lost my voice now.
No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Now.
Hospitals, not prisons. Hospitals, not prisons. We want good mental health hospitals, not prisons. Good mental health hospitals, not prisons.
When we say inhumane conditions, let's slow down and really hear that. Inhumane means lack of medical care, lack of staff, lack of programs, extreme heat, extreme cold, overcrowding, neglect, violence that goes unanswered, lives treated as disposable, lives being lost daily. Inhumane means people dying from things that are preventable. And the truth is, these conditions don't just affect the incarcerated. They shape who comes home. They affect mental health. They increase trauma. They increase recidivism. If the goal is rehabilitation, then brutality cannot be the method. You cannot punish someone into becoming better. You cannot break a human being and expect them to heal alone.
So we gotta come where they are. If we gotta tell them no more with the being silent, that's what we gonna do. And we're gonna stand behind every bill that they say that they're pushing for the people. Because we the people are the ones that is fighting. And we the people are the ones locked down in jail, suffering, being beaten. These boys are being shaped in here. Do you know I talked to a 19-year-old kid? They called this mama $250 because he's not in a gang and said they need it right then. $250 because he's not in a gang. How can they live survive in here?
She's doing intern work for Tanya. Oh, I'm gonna make sure Tanya say I'm out here.
Okay, so I'm gonna move away from Tanya because I don't like Tanya, and Tanya know I don't like her. So I'm gonna move away. Okay?
Let her see you standing with me.
No, I let them have it.
I need you to hold it. I need you to hold it.
Take this picture. Tell Tanya we about to. It's closing up now, but we know better than that. Tell I love her. She can do better when she get attorney general.
Inmate Lives Matter.
Inmate Lives Matter.
Inmate Lives Matter.
Now we want to talk about Dr. King.
No peace.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want then?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want then?
Now.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
I'm proud of you.
Shut it down.
what do we want?
Justice.
What do we want then?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want then?
Now.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it.
Hey, how you doing?
we were asking, we were inquiring, what it is that you do.
Okay, so I, for whatever reason, at the age of 19, thought it would be a wise idea to try to rob a grocery store. So I ended up serving 10 years,
10 years.
for armed robbery at Alton State Prison. And then I was shipped to Washington State Prison. Came home in 06, started doing community work. I got a full pardon from the state, a license to carry for the state. I got my GED at Alto, so then I went back, and when when you get a GED in the state of Georgia, you qualify for the Hope Scholarship Program. So I went to Atlanta Tech. I got an associate's in marketing. Got my financial aid check and reinvested. I also went back to school and got my certification in anger management. So right now I'm licensed with the state, but I work in DeKalb County primarily with the juveniles, the at-risk teens. I go inside the YDCs. Maybe 2 weeks ago, I was in Macon State Prison talking to the lifers.
Yeah.
I'm in the works right now to create a curriculum for at-risk youth that would kind of reduce the DRs and improve the emotional intelligence so that they can have a better life or just survive. But I document everything because I put it on my page. I have 2 pages. One of them is called Best Day of My Life, and the other page is called Stay Out of Prison. But I post them in the group all the time.
Okay.
And
Which group?
It's on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's on YouTube, but I'll post the videos in the group from time to time.
Okay.
But the overall goal is to get because I talk to the kids who are in school, juvenile, and the goal is to simply get them to understand what's going on inside the prison. The guys who are inside the prison, because I've been hired to go inside the prison and work with individuals 6 months prior to their release. The goal is to get them acclimated. These are guys who've done 15, 20, 25 years.
Right.
So it's an ongoing thing, and then you see that system going. Kids in defense custody, kids who get in trouble a lot. A lot of those people end up in prison. So the goal is try to reduce those numbers, reduce recidivism. Right now in the state of Georgia, you have a more likely chance of dying in general population than you do on death row. That's weird. That's weird. Yeah. But also we have to understand. My name is Danon Butler. Danon Butler. Dainhen Butler. Butler. The overall goal is to get humans to treat humans like humans, regardless of background, education, tax bracket. If we treated each other like humans, we'd be in a better place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went in at 19?
I went in at 19.
Like 1996, 97?
1996.
So my boyfriend was armed robbery. Same, I believe it was Aldo. His name was Jason Brumlow.
I know Brumlow. He does art.
That's my boyfriend. No, that's his brother. That's Matt Brumlow. Like, armed robbery, both of them.
Brumlow, he and I were in culinary arts together for like 4 years.
His brother.
Yep. He did the mural on the wall. Very talented guy. Very talented guy.
He works at a tattoo. He did 10 years also.
Yeah,
His brother
I was in there
my
with him.
Boyfriend.
Wow.
Brumlow.
Yeah.
Like the Brumlow, you know.
You knew it, I don't care.
Oh, you got it right. Butler.
So do you know Brad Reynolds?
Brad Reynolds.
He's been in and out for.
So if he wasn't at that specific camp, I've been home for like 20 years. I'm a grandpa now.
Oh, you don't know him because he started 20 years ago.
Yeah.
No, back then, my boyfriend and his brother did.
Yeah, it was a group of those guys. It was like a bunch of them.
Yeah, so both brothers, same thing, same crime,
right,
same thing.
Yep.
And the little brother, which was the one you met, he actually probably got sentenced because of my boyfriend, because the same last name.
Yep.
And my boyfriend really did it. Matt, he was 16 years old.
Yep. It was like 10 of those guys, like that was on that case.
I don't know because I didn't that wasn't my boyfriend. I just know my boyfriend did armed robbery.
Right.
He just robbed another dope dealer.
Right.
He was 18 years old and didn't think it was
a big deal.
No.
Yeah.
Until it was.
Yeah.
And then now, like, he's going right back in. He's just turned 49 Sunday. He's been in 22 years of his 49 years.
Unfortunately, sometimes that cycle doesn't stop for a lot of us.
Yeah, he does drugs. All drugs. I think he got it this time. I wasn't with him, all
Yeah.
Yeah. But he has something to lose now. Something to live for.
So what brought you out here today?
What brought me out here today is I am so sick of like the average person. They have no idea. People are uneducated on how the prison system really is.
Let me get you to hold this while you talk. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I will hold it. Anyway, I'm just sick of the average person doesn't know like how the prison system really is.
Right.
That people in general, like me included, at one time in my life, I thought everybody says 3 hots in a cot. Well, nothing's hot. There's no cots.
Right.
Like, and just getting to know my boyfriend, like I've learned that right now they're sitting in there, they're freezing. They're
What
cold.
camp is he at now?
So right now he got out of camp. Actually, he's currently sitting in Paulding County.
Okay.
And the reason he's sitting in Paulding County is because I tried to file for him to get into rehab. Because at the end of the day, it all stems from a drug problem.
Right.
That's what it is. And I just like to bring awareness that people out here, like normal people that have jobs, that don't run the street, like these people are loved. Like all the people in there have somebody out here that loves them.
Exactly.
And my thing is like I got into it with a man the other day because they say, you know, the animals belong in cages. If I hear that one more time, you know what? And it was a valid point that the man brought up. If you lock an animal in a cage and you don't feed them and you make them walk around in their own feces and you abuse them and you burn them and you hurt them, when they get out of that cage, then what? Then what? You know? So that's my thing with it.
Okay.
And people deserve to be treated like people, no matter where you're from, no matter what your background is.
I agree.
You deserve to be treated like a human.
Let me ask you a hypothetical question.
Go ahead.
If you could, let's take your relationship with somebody in the system out of it. You have absolute power over the system. What's 3 things that you would change about the system right now?
Well, what I say is 3 things. Like I would, one is rehabilitation. Like
Say that one more time.
Like rehab. Like they need to be like learn how to make it outside on the outside. Because a lot of them, like you get out and you have no idea how to make it on the outside. And then the other thing is like food. They need to be fed. Like because that entices violence.
Right.
Like if they're hungry, they're hungry. And then control and order. Like they need to have control and order of their prison system.
Right.
They don't have any currently. And so they need like to have the control of it so that people can go to the classes. So you can actually benefit from the classes.
Exactly.
I've heard that the classes are really just a bunch of crap in there. And they aren't really taught how to really make it on the outside.
Right.
So that would be what I would change. Like learn how to make it. I get the punishment.
Right.
But
it has to be some type of resolve.
Something with the punishment.
Right.
Like show something for it instead of how to get right back in there.
Yep.
Like idle time is not a good thing.
That's what's up. And what's your name, ma'am?
It's Allison.
All righty, man. We appreciate you today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My jacket. I love
We're going upstairs.
I think we are.
January, you know how many people found dead and killed in the Georgia Department of Corrections this year?
Tell me.
22.
Yep.
This year.
And how many of those are results of what?
5. You know why did
Okay, you're
hold
saying,
on.
let me finish. You're saying all 22 were violent?
No, not all 22 were violent.
That's what I'm trying to
Okay,
say.
but majority of them were violent. Yes. You know why the violence take over? Because there's no guards. You know why the violence take over? Because the inmates inside has took advantage and not did anything. You know that our governor called them the National Guard instead of being at the border.
Let them talk.
The National Guard to be in operation.
Okay, I'll let you ask me your 8 questions.
I'm done.
Okay. So your recommendation is we'll bring in the National Guard.
Yes, Georgia National Guard.
Good. That's what I'm saying. Georgia National Guard. Now, your recommendation is.
Hey, man, what's going on, man? Hey, man, you know you was so big, man. Goddamn.
I am. You know why?
I'm with you. No. You and
I have.
There's a reason these voices are rising here at the Georgia State Capitol. Because policies live here, budgets live here, decisions live here, and silence also lives here unless it's challenged. Legislative awareness is not radical. Asking for humane treatment is not extreme. Transparency is not anti-law enforcement. Accountability is not anti-justice. This is democracy in action. When families come to the Capitol, it means the system has failed to listen anywhere else. There's something powerful that happens when truth comes from someone who was on the other side of the door. Because this voice doesn't come from rumor. It doesn't come from assumption. It comes from firsthand experience. An ex-correctional officer standing in support is not betrayal. It's integrity. This is someone who worked the tears, someone who saw the overcrowding, someone who witnessed the neglect, someone who understands how policy decisions land on real human bodies. And when a person like that says what's happening is wrong, that matters. Because it breaks the lie that abuse is necessary. It exposes the myth that cruelty equals control. And it reminds us that silence inside institutions is often enforced, not chosen. This isn't anti-staff, this is pro-truth. When someone who once wore the uniform speaks up, it tells us the problem isn't exaggerated, it's documented. It tells us these families aren't imagining things. They're responding to realities that too many people are trained to overlook. Real change always scares systems that depend on quiet compliance. And courage doesn't disappear when you clock out. Sometimes it finally shows up. Awareness without legislation is just sympathy on repeat. If we're serious about change, then the conversation has to move past emotion and into policy. Because systems don't respond to feelings, they respond to law. This is about medical care that doesn't arrive too late, conditions that don't quietly shorten sentences into death, oversight that doesn't disappear behind locked doors, transparency that doesn't require tragedy to activate. Legislation is how humanity gets enforced. Budgets are moral documents. Policies are value statements. And silence, at this level, is consent. The families connected to the incarcerated are not asking for loopholes. They're asking for standards. They're asking for accountability. That goes both ways. They're asking for a system strong enough to protect life, not manage loss. If lawmakers can write laws that take freedom, they can write laws that protect dignity. This is not radical. This is responsible governing.
What was that exchange about?
So the exchange was about why we're here.
Okay.
And we're here because we're trying to bring awareness and educate about our prison system.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we have some elected officials that just believe what they're told by people that's a part of the problem.
Right.
So, he didn't want to listen, to us. He wanted to go by what he's already been told.
Right.
So, the exchange was about, listening to others and getting both sides of a story. And then you make your decision off of that.
Okay.
Well, his mind was set on one side of the story.
Right.
So that's what the exchange is about.
Okay. Let me ask you this, and I'm not gonna keep you long. And this is just a hypothetical. Let's just say for a certain amount of time you've got absolute control over the system. What 3 things would you change about the system?
Well, you have to classify people correctly. And you have to deal with your gang problem that you have going on.
How would you deal with it?
A lot of people say you segregate the gangs by different sets. I don't know if that's legal. I don't know if that's, I don't know what that entails, how that looks.
Right.
But I've heard that. And then you got to clean up the corruption. You got to a bunch of corruption. From the top down.
How do you do that?
I mean, you have to. Well, first, at these facilities, you have to have right leadership in place to, want to correct what's going on. So you can't just put anybody in charge. You have to put people that actually want to. So you go into these prisons, you clean them up, and it starts at the top. Wardens, deputy wardens, people that actually want to straighten the prisons up.
The things that you mentioned seem fairly simple. They're not real complex at all.
No.
Why aren't they doing these things?
I think it's a system that is more concerned about I scratch your back, you scratch my back, instead of getting to the root cause and bringing people in that's not a part of the system.
Right.
And I don't think they're interested in bringing someone in that may have different ideals than they have.
If the system continues to go in the route that it's going in, will they eventually wake up, or will it just be lives lost, unnecessary lives lost?
At this point, I don't know. I really don't. I don't see any willingness to fix anything or to change anything that they have going on at this point. I really don't.
Right. All righty, man. I appreciate your time, brother.
Yep.
And I appreciate
Definitely.
Fighting for the cause.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sure. I'm going to show to borrow this real quick. Hold on. I'm just going to write something on here.
Okay.
Because, see, I think that, well, it looks good when you are, like, because I'm educated.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you. In a lot of different ways.
Uh-huh.
So, my son is in prison for going on almost 2 years.
What camp is he at?
He's at Rogers State Prison.
Okay.
And he has not been to court yet. He has not been found guilty of anything.
I'm gonna get out of the way of the steps so we don't stop anything.
However, he is incarcerated. How do you go to prison without being found guilty of anything?
That's weird.
He was on parole, okay? But the court system is how we prove someone guilty or innocent, correct?
Right.
Okay, so we had a parole revocation hearing. Wayne Bennett was the speaker, the officer that held that.
What county?
We were in Houston County.
Okay. Where's Houston County?
Warner Robins Air Force Base.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was the judge, jury, and executioner for that hearing.
Okay.
We have a lot of due process violations going on. And he said that he was basically guilty of committing a misdemeanor criminal trespass.
But he hadn't been convicted of that crime yet.
No. So he was sent to Rogers State Prison. And he was sent to Jackson. It's interesting. 4 days before his court date. They couldn't wait 4 days? Wonder why.
So did he make it to court?
No. Because, the solicitor's office told me that, 10 to 14 days they have to have the paperwork in to have them transported. So, they didn't have time to put the paperwork in to have him transported back. However, one of the jailers said, we've had people go to Jackson and come back the very next day for court. So I guess it's all about who you know or what they want to do with you, really.
Let me ask you this. Now I've asked everybody this same question.
Okay.
If you had absolute power, what 3 things would you change about the system right now?
About the prison system?
Yeah.
Well,
not just prison, but the judicial system. And...
Lord have mercy. I pray a lot. No. Well, I know right now I'm really focused on, the judicial system, but we need to get back to the Constitution. That is what our founding fathers put in place for us. That's the foundation of our system. And it works if you work it the way it was meant to be.
Okay.
But people are not doing that. I had an attorney that I hired tell me that she didn't want to file a motion to compel evidence because she didn't want to piss off the solicitor. No, that's not you don't have to worry about that, okay? But you're making me a little angry, so, you're fired.
Right.
But this is a process, and we have to work the process to get to the truth.
Right.
And that's what it's all about, is getting to the truth. And it's not about, putting people in positions that they aren't supposed to be in as far as prison-wise. Look at the case with SMU, Special Management Unit.
Yes, ma'am.
Up there. Okay, so how many times have they been called out, all that administration and everything, because that place is awful? My son had detail there. He can tell you what it's like on the inside.
Right.
For a while, until they shipped him to Ware State Prison in the hole so he would keep his mouth shut.
Ware State Prison is not a good place.
No, he was a medium security, nonviolent. So he's been to 3 level 5 prisons for nothing. He never, yeah. So that's how just this system is. It's not just.
It's weird. Who are these people? I see these silhouettes. Not above the law. Okay, so I recognize the governor. Who are the other 2 guys?
This is Tyrone Oliver. He's head of the Department of Corrections.
Okay, the commissioner. Okay.
And then there's Mr. Herring, who is head of the pardons and parole. Okay. So, a lot of people, when these guys are in these prisons and they're starving to death, I was told that the officer who runs the kitchen, that if she comes in under budget, that she gets a bonus. So she's taking the food to feed 100 and feeding 200 with it, and she's going to get a little bonus while they're starving or having to pay 300% markup on some ramen noodles.
We pay for the housing of these inmates. Us as taxpayers, we pay for the housing.
And as the parents were sending money too on their books because they're starving.
Thank you so much, man. Let me see.
Yes, thank you. Oh.
He's been targeted.
You mind if I put this on you?
No, sir.
Don't put it on you?
You can.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Chevany Arnold.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, I didn't have 2 other things, but I just think it starts with the bottom of the foundation of the United States Constitution, and everything else will work itself out.
Without a doubt, I agree.
My name is Chevany Arnold, and my son Cornelius Arnold, he's currently being held at
I keep dropping this $1 bill. I don't know why.
I don't know, maybe keep picking it up all day long. Good luck. I hope this does turn out in our favor.
Okay, your son's name is what's your son?
It's Cornelius Arnold, and he's currently being held at Hancock State Prison.
Okay, they got an active gang war going on at Hancock State Prison. Well, I don't want to say active. Everybody's on lockdown right now.
Because I know he's actually in a hole, and I wouldn't know the information. And I'm one that's opposed to the telephones, because a lot of these inmates, they victimize the prisoners and stuff like that for clout.
Right.
For social media, for the hype and everything like that.
Right.
But they need to understand that these are children that belong to people that really love them.
Right.
That care for them. They want them to come home rehabilitated, reformed.
Alive.
Alive. Amen. Amen. We supposed to be having celebrations, not having memorials and repasses for our children.
Mm-hmm.
They're only there to serve their time for the crimes and everything that they've committed. And they're doing just that. But then for them to be victimized, for them to be treated so inhumane with the judicial system, with the Georgia Department of Corrections, it's just sad. It hardens my heart. And I'm not just speaking for my son. I'm speaking for every young man and women that's in the Georgia Department system. We care for these children out here. We have their best interests at heart. That's why we're down here advocating. That's why we're down here protesting on their behalf.
Okay.
We love our children. Families are out here, sending money to try to keep our children covered and stuff with everything they need while they're incarcerated. But just to see the living conditions, they're living worse than third world countries. Right. And if it wasn't for these social media platforms that a lot of these inmates use for clout, us as parents, we wouldn't know the real conditions, what's going on with our children down there.
Right.
Sleeping on floors, being victimized. Every social media platform I'm on, because I'm looking for my son.
Right.
That's the only way that I can really keep my eyes on the situation that's going on in these prisons. Mm-hmm. So I just ask everybody to stand with us. These are still United States citizens.
Right.
And one day they should come home and be reformed, be rehabilitated, and become upstanding citizens. We want them to be able to transition back into society, with education, with schooling, with structure. Mm-hmm. And that's what these prisons are supposed to be doing. These children are supposed to be being reformed, rehabilitated, rebuilt. But in other words, they're being broken.
They are. Let me ask you this. because you're a mother, and a lot of times you guys take on a whole lot of weight,
Yes.
How do you stay strong in what you do? How do you stay faithful in what you do? How do you stay reliable? Yeah, how you do that?
Through God.
Okay.
It's only by His strength. It's only by His strength. And God, God calms my spirit. God brings me that inner peace.
Mm-hmm.
But my son is incarcerated. He's the oldest of 6 sons. So my youngest is 19. So I'm not a grandmother. So while I'm at home and stuff, and then I'm seeing, I don't even like to get on the platforms because every post is an institution, where our children are being victimized. So I just had to just find my outer peace, and that was through my art.
Okay.
I got back into my art, my craft, my drawing,
It's
to just give me that. Yes, it's very therapeutic. Okay. Oh my God. When my son come home from work, my 19-year-old, and he see me, at my art, in my craft and stuff, he knows that something is going on with my son, because I just try to stay focused. But first and foremost, it's through God. It's only through God. It's only by God.
Let me ask you this. If you had absolute control over this system right now, what 3 things would you change?
What 3 things I would change is, first and foremost, the living conditions.
Okay.
We have to do something about the living conditions that these children are being upon. That's why they act as animals. Look at the living condition. They feel like on the outside nobody cares about them, so why should they care about the next man that's next to him or the next man that's next to him?
Right.
The next is as far as like the educational reform program. There should be more like training, skill set structures and stuff in these institutions. I remember back in the days, like I'm not new to this.
Right.
I survived the streets. I'm from Atlanta, ATL born, but I have dated guys that have went down that road.
Okay.
And a lot of them have come home reformed, with a skill set, with a trade. Even if they bring back the work program for the inmates and stuff like that, give them something to do. Idle time in mind is the devil's workshop.
Yeah.
So if they have nothing to do, what else are they going to do? They're going to do exactly what they were doing out here on the streets.
Right.
I will provide some type of structure in those institutions. First and foremost, definitely make sure we have a chaplain on site.
Yes.
I would open the doors up for any type of ministries that want to come out and just bring the word forward to the youth.
Right.
Because that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? We living in evil times now.
Yep.
And these children, we drop the baton and the ball on instilling Christ into their lives.
Right.
So I definitely would have a big stand on bringing, like, as far as Christianity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or some type of religious platform down there, but not religious platform, Christianity.
Right.
Christianity. Right. Bring it to the institutions. Also, train our guards, train our wardens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As far as having compassion, empathy, sympathy for the inmates, because these people, they are still human.
Right.
I would also protest that we isolate and alienate and separate the violent offenders from the general population. That's the problem that's going on.
Right.
My biggest thing was, I've always said, these gangbangers, since they want to carry flags and AK-47, send them to the military. Why we can't send them to the military, put them on just like the Dirty Dozen?
Yeah.
Back in the day, that 1960-something movie.
Yeah.
Get them inmates, send them to the military. And they want to carry guns and AK-47s anyway.
Yeah.
Let them carry for their country. And if they make it home safe, or if they've served their time, whatever time they had here, put them on the front line.
Mm.
We got young men that are going to the armed forces and everything like that only to get college educated or get funded for college and schooling and everything, but they coming back with PTSD. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't know the left from the right once they come back from what they've seen over in these other countries.
Mm.
These inmates, the gangbangers, they've lived there here on American soil. So why don't they go to other countries and fight for American citizens?
I know I said one more question. I got one more. Some of the things that you mentioned are fairly simple. They won't cost a whole lot of money and won't require a whole lot of resources.
Just people that care.
Why don't you think that they have made some of these changes?
The way I'm hearing it was all strategically designed, even through our music. If you look at the last 20 years with our music genre, and if you look at a lot of entertainers that have fell off and stopped making music, because they heard about what the plan was for the agenda, exactly. They went into movies, they went into other genres of entertainment to get out this that they knew that was going to corrupt our young men.
It's crazy you brought that up. I was looking at an interview with Ice Cube. He was talking to a guy. He said that the CIA was financially behind them putting their music out. And then he said that there are a lot of people who have these machines in the music industry. They also own stocks in these private prisons.
In these private prisons, yes, they say that was designed. That blueprint was brought into discussion into the chambers and stuff, into the round table, like in the 90s,
right?
When they seen with NWA and how everybody, with what is that, KRS-One and Public Enemy, Fight the Power and all like that. You know, they see that if we stand together as united, and that's our problem, we can't be united. But they seen that if we stood together and was united on the forefront, that we would be powerful. Right. So they had to find some type of device, to corrupt our children, to get them to go up, go against the design. If we look back, just like yesterday was Dr. King's birthday.
Yeah.
All last night I was crying looking at these old documentary movies about him and the history and his legacy.
Yeah.
But just to look at 70 years, look how far we fell off.
Right.
Look how far we fell off. But it was always designed to keep us at the bottom of the totem pole. We're not here to be leaders. They don't want us to be leaders because they know we'll be a strong force. So they design this music to corrupt our young men.
Right.
If you look at that's all the music has been about. It's about killing. It's about violence. It's about, kill the pig, kill the police. That's all our music has been about. Drug influence, you know what I'm saying? Baby dad is, producing all these mass production of kids and stuff like that. Then the fathers get sent to the institutions and the mothers are out here left to raise the kids alone. And it just keep coming, a generation curse. The cycle continues. Continues. But I just say it was all designed. Just me, and I'm an introvert. I'm a social introvert. My job makes me social, but my personal time, it's just me and the Lord, because that's who keeps me strengthened. Right. But just looking at these social media platforms and our tags to just get informed about what was going on. I must have been living in the box the past 15 years because I was raising the next generation of children. So I really wasn't in tune with what was going on with the music because my whole selection of music changed. It went from hip hop and R&B to inspirational. Right. So I didn't know what was going on. I was blind to it. But I stand here today on behalf of every inmate in this Georgia Directional Correction Facility, the Department of Correction. Yep. I stand when they can't stand for them. Okay. I speak on their behalf when they can't speak for themselves. Yep. I'm a voice for the voiceless. I'm here for every inmate mother that can't be in place for them. I stand for you, and I stand with you. And I stand for my son too, because all Georgia Department Correctional Inmate Lives Matter, and my son life matter too. Okay, then. My son life matter too. Okay. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for taking the time.
I appreciate you talking to me, and I like your score.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Be blessed, man.
All right, thank you. All right, y'all. We still in this thing. Well, someone has to put their life on the line and stop it. I'm hungry and I'm thirsty.